Hey everybody, Livingston here. Today we're jumping into Season 2, Episode 28 of the Twilight Zone. This time it's Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? And it came out May 25th, 1961. Looking forward to jumping into this one, but before we do, let's get into your comments for last week's episode, The Mind and the Matter. David E123 says the guy who spilled the coffee also played Ron Updike in the series Kolchak. The Night Stalker, Jack Grinnage. That might be another good series to react to. I know Kolchak. I've actually watched a few episodes of it, and maybe at some point we'll see. I still have quite a bit of things to go through before I even get to another show in general. But thanks for the comment. Appreciate it. Robert Schulenberger says, will the real Martian please stand up? I have been looking forward to watching the reaction and to see how long it takes you to figure out the ending. Well, we're about to jump into that episode. Looking forward to jumping into it. And the last couple episodes have been hard to figure out. Maybe the last 3 or 4. But other than the last one that we just watched, which was The Mind and the Matter, which I kind of knew what was going to happen at the end of that episode, but maybe the 2 or 3 episodes prior to that were episodes I had a hard time figuring out, so maybe this will be another one. Gene Everett, 7855, says the lead played Larry David's dad in Curb 45 years later. He's talking about Curb Your Enthusiasm. Wow, I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know. Eric, 1990 US, says this is sort of played for laughs and is one of the better light or humorous ones. Yeah, very true. It was a very light and humorous episode for sure. Not a lot of stakes in it. You kind of knew what was going to happen as it progressed through the entire episode, but still a fun episode regardless. The Cosmic Kid 2562 says the title of the episode should have been The Most Unimaginative Person in the World. Exactly what I said during the episode, because the guy really couldn't think outside the box, even though he was able to do and think and, basically be whatever he wanted to be. He still decided to go to work and do what he always did. So, kind of sad in that respect. Not much of an imagination. So, thanks for the comment. Brian Hicks 3272 says, I enjoy all seasons of The Twilight Zone, but the twists in Season 2 may not be as sharp as the twists in Season 1. However, I think in Season 2 there is more variety in terms of storytelling. That's true. I mean, we have hit quite a few different things. We've had stories of people gambling that could take place in the real world. We've had science fiction, fantasy, quite a few different topics that we've explored in this season. Still an interesting season. Not as good as Season 2, not as good as Season 1 in my opinion, but Season 2 is still a good season regardless. Welch says, 2358, in the cornfield. I probably need to go back to 2358 of my video, but yeah, I haven't done that, so I don't know what you're referencing, but appreciate the comment, and I'll look into it after we get off of here. Renee's Describe 1229 says, as an answer to your question, where did he send all the people? They tried in true, a Twilight Zone answer would be in the cornfield. Okay. You'll better understand that reference by viewing a future episode. Well, I guess, Welch, that's what you're referring to, in the cornfield. I guess it's an episode coming up at some point, and I'll figure out what happened to those people who got sent away. But they continue on saying, a small plot hole at the subway station after Mr. Beechcroft sent everybody to the cornfield. How did the subway keep running? In early 1960s, the subway was most likely not automated, unless maybe it was Mr. Beechcroft's reflection who was running it just to mess with us. Yeah, who knows? Maybe it was his power that actually ran that subway station. Not exactly sure. I wasn't thinking of it at the time, but yeah, since nobody's on the subway and actually running the train, how was it running? So yeah, a very good call out there, and thanks for clearing up what the cornfield meant. Welch explained it in the last comment, so it was nice that somebody pointed it out to me. So thanks for that and the comment. Cutie Pie says, would you be interested in looking at the TV classic called Perry Mason, 1950s? It's a good show. I've actually seen Perry Mason. It is a very good show, and I think even the new Perry Mason I heard is pretty good too. I think it was on Showtime. I don't think it lasted too long though. But definitely will maybe revisit some episodes at some point in my life, but probably not for the channel since I've already watched it and reacted to it. Tom G6318 says, I don't want to sound like a pervert, but I think I'd know what my first thought would be. Not the most imaginative episode, but he did remind me a little bit about myself. Well, we don't know what those perverted thoughts are. We'll keep it at that. But I'm sure most guys probably have a lot of those perverted thoughts that you have as well, Tom. But we like to keep those to ourselves. But thanks for the comment. Robert Jewell 9727 says, just an okay episode in my opinion. My least favorite Twilight Zone episodes are these sort of cute morality tales. Regarding the dream theory stuff in the comments regarding shadow play, when I was in my early 20s, I kept having this reoccurring dream about a semi-truck crashing head on into me, and I'd wake up in a big shock just rising out of my sleep. Then one morning I was driving on an early snowy morning to work, to a film set, of all places, and lost control of my car as a semi came over the hill and I crashed into a ditch while the semi roared past. I never had the dream again after that. Definitely a Twilight Zone moment. Actually, your comment reminded me of the episode 22, which is the woman who kept having the same dream over and over again and kept seeing the same woman who was at the morgue inside the hospital she was in. And it kept ending the same way, where she would kind of scream and run off. It turns out it was basically a dream foreshadowing what will possibly happen to her if she were to get on that airplane, which happened to actually be the story that kick-started Final Destination, also a really good movie, and a few good movies in the series as well. But yeah, your comment actually reminded me of that over shadow plays. But thanks for the comment, really did appreciate it. And let's jump into the episode and see what we're getting into.
The Twilight Zone.
Oh, sounds like space noises.
See anything?
The tops of some trees have been knocked down. Looks like something hit that pond.
A meteor or something, probably. Reporting a checkout.
Go ahead.
Checking out a report on an unidentified flying object. Came down on the ice of Tracy's Pond, and we can't see it now.
There are footprints up here. Looks like they got out of whatever landed.
There appears to be some evidence that...
But there's some talk of the bridge going out up there. Enough ice jammed against it to cool the Congo.
Roger, now.
No question about it. Something left that pond, went over to the diner.
Wintry February night, the present. You've heard of trying to find a needle in a haystack? Well, stay with us now, and you'll be part of an investigating team. They've got to find a Martian in a diner. And in just a moment, you'll search with them because you've just landed in the Twilight Zone.
Trouble?
Yeah. Is it her?
Whose bus is this out here?
That's mine, officer. What's the problem?
The bridge up ahead has been declared.
Can't be the bus driver.
Can't turn around and go back. There's a slide up there at the turnoff.
Looks like you're kind of marooned. Till morning, anyway.
Till morning?
That sucks.
Because that bus stays out there until they fix the bridge.
So you might as well all get comfortable and get a little hot food in you.
That's precious little consolation for missing my meeting in Boston.
Does he have a meeting in Boston?
They have no control over the snow, bridges, the sides of hills that decide to come down.
She hasn't spoken a word yet. And they haven't either.
They were all on the bus, weren't they?
Well, you have two couples. You got that guy at the bar.
You got a passenger manifest?
What's that?
Mister, that's a 14-year-old bus, and business is lousy. My boss would run rum across the border if there was a profit in it.
Are you?
We're that glad to have him, with or without name.
You know how many you had?
Somebody must have jumped in. There are 7 here now.
Start asking around. Who saw who on the bus?
I know I had 6 people.
Was there anybody in here before the bus stopped?
No, I haven't served anybody
Nope.
since 11 o'clock this morning.
But could he be the one? I mean, maybe he crash landed and became the cafe manager. I don't know.
One of them didn't get...
But there are 7 extra people, so probably isn't him.
Which one of you wasn't on the bus?
We were all on the bus. If we're going to be grilled, I want to talk to a lawyer.
First he wants snowshoes, then he wants a lawyer.
Hey, I know him.
Don't remember seeing you on the bus.
Makes one of us a liar, don't it?
Is this a diner or Gestapo headquarters?
Oh, now take it easy, mister. What's it all about?
I don't know. I feel like it's the guy behind the bar. It seems like it's the only logical choice to me.
We got a call about 2 hours ago. Woman said she heard something fly over and then come down.
From up there.
Nothing's come down from up there except snow. Well, that's all I've seen for the past 14 hours.
Look, something did land in Tracy's Pond.
You mean something landed in Tracy's Pond and then came in here?
One person here...
Now, let me get this straight. You're trying to tell us that there's one person in here who landed in some kind of a saucer or something and then came in here.
Yep.
We climbed off of that bus with our eyes closed to get out of the snow. Anyone could have come in with us.
True.
Tell you the truth, I don't know who got on.
She's just like a science fiction, that's what she is. A regular Ray Bradbury. Eye in the back of your head, would you?
The actor is Jack Elam. I think I say his name. It's E-L-A-M. But I recognize him from a lot of westerns I used to watch. He was also in the Cannonball Run, Once Upon a Time in the West, Support Your Local Sheriff with James Garner. Oh, it's a good movie.
Since it's just one person who doesn't belong here, you eliminate the couples.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
We're two other humans.
Us too. We're in the clear.
Okay.
I could have sworn you had a mole on your chin.
Uh-oh.
Mole on my chin? Connie.
Why would you ask that question randomly right now?
We're all going to get so panicky that everyone and his brother will start picking up invisible clues from everybody else.
Yeah, we've seen that in season 1.
I think 23 years is long enough for a woman to know who she's married.
You don't know who she is? We don't know who she is. And this lemon sucker here, he's the most suspicious of the bunch.
You got a back door to this place?
Sure, why?
Go back there and lock
It's already locked. If that certain somebody really is from outer space, they'll just go through the wall anyway.
Check them for wings. Look under their coats. You got identification, Grandpa?
No.
Who won the World Series race last year?
They call him Grandpa, but he's like 42 years old there, which is only 3 years older than me. I mean, first they're making him up, I guess, to look old.
You got identification?
What's your deal?
I left it in my suitcase. It was shipped on ahead.
What's your name, miss?
Ethel McConnell.
Okay.
I'm a professional dancer.
She was on the bus.
How do you know?
Because she's a woman, and I seen her.
She's the only one I noticed.
Well, thank you.
Look at that, flirting.
Ain't nobody been exonerated yet, that's for sure.
We'll all show our identifications and put a stop.
I feel like this is all a misdirection because everyone's pointing fingers at everybody who was on the bus, but not the guy who's running the cafe, which nobody saw until they walked into that place. And we don't know exactly how long it took for that person to walk from the pond to this cafe.
Miss.
Wait a minute, how'd that happen? A selectomatic mechanism. The hell?
Cause that?
We may get a laugh out of all this in the morning. Everyone stay right where they are.
I'm not moving. Let's all look at each other like they're aliens.
Where are the troopers?
Oh, stepped outside. Say, Haley, that wasn't your gag, was it?
No way.
Take me to your leader. Take me to your leader.
Love his rocker.
Find anything?
No.
I know that bridge. What's more, I don't trust it.
If the bridge gets a clean bill of health, you'll drive that bus right across it.
Listen, mister, and I tell you that bridge is so old.
Hey, what is this?
It's called lights flickering.
We may be losing power.
What caused that?
This is just plain weird.
Well, I wish whoever it was would play his cards right now.
What's the point of us all staying cooped up in here like this?
We're all kids in a closet here. Nobody understands what's going on. I think it'd be a real healthy idea if we pinpointed that particular somebody and kept him from leaving.
But what if the thing doesn't show itself? Do we just sit here holding our breath?
How about that?
If somebody was to ask me...
Well, no one did ask you, no one will.
Why don't you leave the old man alone?
But he could be the alien.
Invitations. But you've got this big thing about bossing everybody around.
Uh-oh. It's happening again. So what's draining the power? Whoa. Hello? Who is it?
Yeah. What's that? It's okay? All right, thanks. Bridge is okay.
You're making a big mistake, officer. Big mistake.
We can't hold somebody on suspicion of being a monster.
Are they sure about that bridge? I don't like that sucker.
The bridge has been checked out and declared passable.
Oh, good.
All right, you can pay your checks right over here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I guess whatever it was is in the clear now.
Now, you had the chili, right? That's 90 cents. And you had, what, 14 cups of coffee. It was $1.40.
Goodbye, officer.
Miss McConnell?
See you later. I'll check her out. Rude.
That's right, 7.
Bet you by the time we get to Boston, they'll be 17.
Make one final joke. This what makes me think that it is the guy who is running the cafe who's the alien.
Something for you?
Coffee, black.
1 coffee, black.
So who's this guy?
Didn't you go out on that bus?
I did indeed. Oh, yes, I went out on that.
He's the 7th guy, huh?
That bridge wasn't safe. It collapsed. The state police car, the bus, everything.
Huh.
Except me.
Everyone died.
You're not even wet.
What's wet?
What do you mean, what's wet? You landed in the river.
Okay, he's the alien, I guess.
Like that jukebox playing in the corner. That's an illusion, too.
Huh.
Or that telephone ringing.
Is the old man causing this?
Just a parlor trick.
What are you, some kind of magician?
Oh, hardly.
3 hands. Wow.
Before you faint dead away, I ought to explain that the name isn't really Ross.
Well, yeah, I get that.
No, I was sent as a kind of advanced scout.
What you scouting?
Cigarettes, do you call them? They taste wonderful. We haven't got a thing like this on Mars.
Guess I was wrong.
My friends will be arriving very shortly. I think they're going to like it here.
Invasion's not good.
Just the perfect spot for a colony, don't you think, Mr. Haley? How about a little what you call music?
I have to do a little waiting myself. My name isn't Haley. We folks on Venus had the same idea.
Venus. They're both alien. Guess I was half right.
That your friends are not coming. They've been intercepted. Oh, a colony is coming, but it's from Venus.
Guess Earth isn't saved.
I think you'll see how we differ.
Oh, it's a third eye.
And I agree with you about what they call music.
Well, that sucks for your race of people, huh?
If either of these two entities walk onto your premises, you better hold their hands, all three of them. The gentleman in question might try to pull you into the Twilight Zone.
Talk about a little twist there at the end. Well, that was Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up. Didn't know what to expect in the episode, but I definitely enjoyed it. It definitely kept my interest all the way through because it was a mystery. Made you wonder, who the heck was the Martian? Was it the 7 people who got off the bus? Was it the guy who was running the cafe? Who the heck was it? And it kept you kind of wondering. I called out the guy who was running the cafe because nobody was questioning him. Everyone just assumed that he was there. He's always been there, and that's always been the case. But hey, maybe the place was closed down and he just kind of happened into it. Who knows? But turns out it ended up being the other guy who was on the bus. So I was half right thinking that the guy who was behind the counter was the alien, but it wasn't the one who crash landed in the pond. So yeah, I was definitely thrown for a loop for this episode. Didn't guess it right off the bat. I got 50% of it right, but hey, that's not too bad, I guess. But anyways, let's jump into some of the trivia and see what it took to get this episode off the ground. The first draft was entitled Night of the Big Rain. The second was called Nobody Here But Us Martians. Near the start, just after Rod Serling's intro, the name of the bus company is glimpsed on the side of the bus. Cayuga Bus Company, though only the C and O of company is actually visible in the Blu-ray release. The Twilight Zone series was produced by Cayuga Production Company. Toward the end, Ross is seen smoking Oasis cigarettes made by the show's sponsor. The young married couple, played by Jill Ellis and Ron Kipling, had very short acting careers. Jill Ellis appeared in nothing else, making this her only credit, while Kipling was in only 2 other television guest spots. Jack Grandpa Elam was only 40 years old at the time this episode was made. Yeah, definitely wasn't a grandpa. After the bus driver realizes that he doesn't know who boarded the bus, Avery, the kooky old man at the diner counter, exclaims, "She's just like a science fiction." That's what she is, a regular Ray Bradbury. Ray Bradbury later wrote the Season 3 episode, I Sing the Body Electric. Well, we're going to jump into Season 3 pretty soon. In one of many baseball references by Rod Serling throughout the run of the Twilight Zone, the state trooper asks the old character at the counter who had just won last year's World Series. Avery correctly answers, Pittsburgh Pirates, 4-3 over the New York Yankees. This shocking upset by the underdog Pirates was completed by Bill Mazeroski, famous home run in the bottom of the 9th inning of Game 7, and as of 2022 remains the only such event in the history of the World Series dating back to 1903. This episode takes place in February of 1961. Bill Irwin, who plays one of the bus passengers stranded at the diner, would 33 years later receive an Emmy nomination for playing a grumpy old man on Seinfeld, along with Lois Nettleton. Bill Irwin is the rare actor to appear on both The Twilight Zone and on Seinfeld. Gertrude Flynn later played an elderly woman in The Leprechaun Artist, Dead Run, 1986. Well, that's cool. 2 different Martian races previously appeared in People Are Alike All Over and Mr. Dingle the Strong. When everyone was leaving the diner, Haley indicates that one of the passengers had 14 cups of coffee, totaling $1.40. In today's world, 1 cup of coffee can cost more than twice that amount. The band Rush has a song on their 2112 album entitled The Twilight Zone. This episode is mentioned near the end. The lyrics are, beneath his head, the strangeness lies. Take it off, he's got 3 eyes. Oh, that's pretty cool lyrics. When the police are trying to find out who in the diner is the real Martian, the crazy man Avery exclaims, check 'em for wings, check 'em for wings, look under their coats. In the end, it's revealed Ross, the businessman, is the true Martian. He is, in fact, was hiding something under his coat, but it wasn't wings, it was a third arm. Well, that's it for this episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Continue on to episode 156 of The Twilight Zone. And until next time, see you later.